Do you remember a couple of weeks ago I posted a very important video all about ivory and the new ivory laws, and I said that basically from then on, after I'd posted the video, it was going to be completely illegal to sell all antique ivory. Well, a couple of days after I posted my video, they changed the law just for a very short period of time. It is now legal currently, this is the end of March 2022, to sell antique ivory predating 1947 up until about June sometime, unless they change it again. So there you have it. I've just picked up this ivory carving tusk from a client. It's Japanese. It is exquisite quality, guaranteed pre-1947, a proper antique with its stand. Check that out. So a couple of weeks ago, according to my video, it was completely illegal and absolutely worthless, but until June it now has a value. So £200 to £300 is the estimate, and that's what it will make. And in truth, it wouldn't have made very much more when the ivory laws were what the ivory laws were, when people like me had to guarantee it was antique and pre-1947. It might have made £300 to £500, which begs a question. Here's a question for you. Do you think that the new ivory laws are going to make a difference? Is it going to stop elephant poaching? Well, I don't think so. And this is going to be very contentious, I know, but I'm going to say it anyway. Take a look at that carving. Do you really think it's cost viable to kill an elephant in Africa, take the tusk to China, which is where it would go, carve it, send it back to the United Kingdom, and try and pass it off in an auction room as an antique piece like this, and get yourself £200 to £300, or maybe up to £500 a year or so ago when these things were perfectly legal? And the answer is categorically no. It's an impossibility. It's impossible to pay to kill an elephant, ship its tusk, and pay an artisan, and I mean an artisan at the highest order, the most skilled carver on the planet, pay them to create this and then to fake it into an antique and then sell it for 500 quid. It just doesn't make commercial sense. So I think that banning antique ivory, antique objects like this, is not going to help any elephants in Africa today. It's a virtue signaling at its greatest. It's flying the flag to say, these organizations around the world, we're really nice, kind people, we want to save elephants. Well, if they really, really wanted to save elephants, then I would say that they would allow genuine antique pieces of antique carved ivory to be sold and get experts like me, supposedly, to verify that they are antique, and then send all of the funds to Africa to help elephant sanctuaries, to save elephants and to feed human beings and to stop them poaching elephants. That to me would make perfect sense. And also to try and change the belief system, the cultural belief system in the Far East, which is where the problem is. And nobody dare touch on this subject. The fact remains that it's the Chinese, mainly, that still have this love affair with ivory. But they don't want the antique ivory necessarily. They want brand new, fresh ivory direct from the bull elephant, because in Chinese culture, it still is very important. It represents success and wealth and power and all of those things. And they pay fortunes to carvers to carve the ivory tusks to their own design, not antique design, their own design, with family mottos, emblems, business mottos, that kind of thing. That's where the problem is China. But nobody dare touch on that subject. So what they do, just a virtue signal, is ban all antique pieces of ivory. Aren't we lovely people for doing so? Well, no, you're not. It doesn't help elephants whatsoever. What are we going to do next? Are we going to ban books? Are we going to ban books on things that we topics we don't like. Yes, it's awful, but history, they say, is a foreign country. They did things differently then. When this was made well over 100 years ago, it was normal to have ivory products. It's now not normal to have new ivory products, and there is not a problem with poached ivory in the West, in Britain, in Europe or America. There is no market for it. We don't want it, and we haven't wanted it for decades, but in the Far East they still do, and that's where the problem lies, not with antique pieces. Well, that's me ranting away. Let me know what you think. If you disagree with me, fine, but honestly, it's not quite as simple as just banning antique ivory to save elephants. We're still losing one elephant every 15 minutes, and I've been involved in anti-elephant poaching for 20 years. I know these things. If you can think of a better way to help save elephants, then let me know. So to sum up my opinion, change the cultural attitude in China. It is changing slowly, so it will happen over generations, but push for that change. And secondly, I'd still think that the amount of ivory owners I know who would very happily give up their ivory for no financial reward on the condition that it was sold by people like me for zero commission. I don't want to make any money out of it, and send all of the proceeds to elephant sanctuaries in Africa right now. Therefore, old elephants long gone, helping save living elephants today just makes perfect sense. Let me know what you think. Anyway, back to the mercenary world of antique dealing. This is from a client of mine, and it will be sold for £200 to £300. As ever, everybody, thanks for watching. Keep in touch and send me information on anything you have of interest that might make a nice little video here on YouTube, contentious or not. Till next time, cheerio.